I would disagree with the statement that tech is neutral. A lot of people will make that claim, but it's my view that every single line of code is an ethical judgment call.
Trent, when you look at the early days of when you were a child, what is the first word that you remember actually pronouncing?
Oh, wow. I don't remember. I remember one of the first words that I couldn't pronounce. I couldn't say three. I would always say tree. So my brothers would bug me as I tried to count. I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Interesting. I'm curious. So how does that then retranslate into like the things that you actually do, like when you want to achieve something?
Well, yeah, to me, it's less about I can't do it versus not. It's more like, you decide to do it and you do. As the book, the writer of The Power of Positive Thinking wrote, conceive, believe, achieve. So you come up with the idea of what it is that you want to do. You believe in yourself that you can do it, and then you set out to achieve it. And that, of course, there's many steps along the way for that, but achieving, of course, and it takes a lot of effort and dedication, but conceive, believe, achieve. It's a good way to get things done.
So what do you, Trent McConaghy, believe in?
When I was 16, I thought I knew everything. And as I got older, I realized, more and more that there's a lot of things that I don't know. But at the same time, sort of, you realize many of the values that you hold, you might have had since a child just by the things around you. For example, I asked myself, why am I spending so much time in the blockchain space? What is it about that space? What is it that I believe in that compels me to be part of this space? And I realized growing up, I grew up in a society where there was co-ops everywhere, where everyone was working together to achieve a greater good. It was just part of the fabric of society. The politics in the area, in the province and so on, rural Canada, was, either very left-wing or super left-wing in a sense. So, and everyone just naturally cooperated. It's where universal healthcare came from and then propagated to the world. So a lot of those values that were just taken for granted as a child, when I was growing up, I started to see the broader world and realizing that a lot of those weren't spreading and spread in some cases. And then also, as it has manifested in technology and sort of social systems, social networks, this sort of thing, how we could draw on some of these principles of working together to achieve a greater good and really run with them. So I believe in working together towards self-actualization.
So in terms of achievement in that sense, like where are you at building up on all those previous points?
Right. So, I mean, in terms of the amount of time that these things take, it's sort of like the last part is 99%, right? In terms of time. Edison once said, ideas are 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration. And so the conceive and believe part, you have to have the sort of, state of mind to be thinking of these ideas and to believe that you can do it.
What is your crusade? What is it you're like dedicating or willing to sacrifice part of your life?
Mm-hmm. Well, overall, I see that technology has advanced so far. There's a lot of opportunities in the future to really take us towards self-actualization. So think like Maslow's hierarchy. We can, we at the bottom level, it's meeting your basic needs: food, clothing, shelter, water. And one level up, health, education, internet, all that, and to the very top of self-actualization. And society has advanced with the help of technology and otherwise, where it feels like we might be able to get an opportunity for everyone to not just get by with basic needs, but everyone to self-actualize. And so how do we get there, right? Some technologies have extremely high leverage, AI and blockchain in particular. So how can we use the leverage from these technologies to help make society more efficient, to help take people to abundance? And it's clear that these technologies generate a lot of wealth, but right now with AI, a lot of it has centralizing tendencies. So the wealth flowing from the benefits of AI is flowing to a small number of pockets. But how can we change things such that the wealth flows to everyone, right? And if the wealth flows to everyone, then that will help to bring society up from just meeting basic needs, which we haven't even hit, to healthcare, good education, and so on, all the way to the top. So sort of the mission that I'm going for is really, equalize the opportunity for self-actualization for everyone. It sounds crazy, but I see that, technology is such a big lever, especially AI and blockchain, that we can get there. And a critical piece of that then is spread the opportunities to access the data. Then it can help to spread the opportunities from the benefits of AI and so on and so forth. So I see, and that's what we're trying to do with Ocean, is spread these opportunities.
What is basically like this thing where we can kind of outcompete that trend, that trend. sorry, little pun here, of actually just like steer it towards like tech for good and basically leverage that technology, which is actually neutral, right, into something that is beneficial for everyone.
I would disagree with the statement that tech is neutral. A lot of people will make that claim, but it's my view that you can write technology, you can develop technology that has a bias towards centralization or away from centralization, towards good, towards evil, for lack of a better framing. So every single line of code is an ethical judgment call. That's one way of, that's an extreme way of putting it. But I think that's a good stake in the ground to state. And what that means is, as a person building technology, then you have to ask yourself, how do you want this to be used? Knowing that you can't block people, because that would be censorship, and that, also is a losing proposition. So how do you build censorship-resistant technology that then is good? So with Ocean, we see that we are biasing what we're doing that is beneficial, with beneficial use cases in the for good context or beneficial to industry. But when along come, malevolent actors and they start using Ocean, we won't be able to stop them.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
And if we could stop them, then we would have failed in our job in developing a censorship-resistant technology.
Talking about the future, we actually have to look down kind of the generations to come. What is it with your children that you learned from?
Oh, wow. The fact that they ask questions, the fact that they're, curious about the world, adventurous, and they just want to learn, and it's something that I've fought really hard to preserve, sort of a curiosity about the world. And I've partly succeeded, but not fully. I find myself immersed in Twitter feeds too often, that sort of thing. Whereas children are just much more, naturally curious. And so they teach me, or remind me to be curious and how to be curious. And that, just a very genuine sense of play all the time. It's wonderful.
When was the last time you gave someone a gift?
That was, the gift of a hug. And interestingly, physiologically, humans really love hugs.
Can hugs solve problems in the world, or how does that fit in the equation?
Yeah, definitely. They can help to reduce friction among humans, which then turns to solving problems for sure. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, there we go.